Disappearance of Mekayla Bali, missing since April 2016, is still unsolved. The Saskatchewan Association of Chiefs of Police have described Mekayla as wearing dark blue skinny jeans with a sparkle or white design on the back pockets, maroon or brown ankle boots with chunky heels, and a dark blue plaid backpack. The timeline they were able to put together is as follows. The evening of April 11th, 2016, she sent messages to several friends stating that she was unhappy about something and needed help. At approximately 6:41 a.m. on April the 12th, 2016, Mekayla texted her friend Oksana and asked her to drive her to the bank. She had apparently claimed she had $5,000, but Oksana declined her request. Investigation shows that Mekayla had nowhere close to that in her bank account. Mekayla's mother said, "That morning, we kind of do our hair and makeup together and just chat about our day. There wasn't anything that stood out in my mind or in hindsight that anything was out of the ordinary," she said. They both get up, ready for work and school. At 8 o'clock a.m., Mekayla's grandmother dropped her off at Sacred Heart High School where she usually attended classes. At 8 minutes after 8, Mekayla checked into the school's Wi-Fi, and at 8:20 a.m., Mekayla entered and she went to her locker. About 6 minutes later, she exited the school through the back entrance as per the school's surveillance system. She walked to the bank of the TD between 8:50 and 8:55 a.m., and she was seen talking to somebody on the phone. When the bank teller opened, Mekayla quickly ended the call and asked the teller to withdraw $55 from her account. At 9 a.m., she entered a pawn shop and tried to pawn a silver ring, in which the owner refused as it was too low a price. At 9:05 a.m., her ex-boyfriend messaged her and asked why she wasn't in her first class, and Mekayla said she was on the other side of town. At 9:15 a.m., Mekayla entered a combined Tim Hortons and Wendy's where she ordered a hot drink. She sat in a booth with her backpack next to her. However, she never carried a backpack to school, so it appears that she intended to leave Yorkton. She was seen looking at windows and doors in a nervous manner. At 9:23 a.m., she exited through one of the exit doors, only to walk back in and go to the other door. At 9:49 a.m., she entered the Tim Hortons Wendy's again while on the phone with somebody who has never been identified. She sat at a booth facing the door. At 10 after 10, she texted her friend Shelby and said, "Hey, I need help," only to respond later and say, "Never mind, I figured it out." At 10:43 a.m., Mekayla asked a woman to rent a hotel room for her, which she refused, and 2 minutes later she exited the building and she was still on the phone. Between 10:45 and 11:55 a.m., Mekayla's whereabouts are unknown. At 12 o'clock p.m., she entered the school again and met with two of her friends and told them that she was taking a bus to Regina. It is believed that she may have been carrying two phones at the time she was in the school. At 2 minutes after 12, Mekayla left the school for the last time and went to the bus depot. After finding out that the bus she wanted to board would leave at 5 p.m., she left. She then entered the UFC bus depot, where she ordered a meal at a Trail Stop restaurant inside the depot. Between 1 p.m. and 1:45 p.m., Mekayla exited the depot, and where she went after she exited remains unknown. Her grandmother arrived at the school to take her to a violin lesson at the end of the day. When she didn't come out, Mekayla's mother was called, and her mom immediately checked the slush fund. She always kept money in the house for emergencies. It was untouched. Mekayla also didn't take many belongings with her. The backpack she is seen carrying could only have held a few days' worth of clothing. She never came home and was reported missing that night. By 7 a.m. the next morning, her phone was turned off. According to police, Bali had not used any of her social media accounts since. One possible exception occurred 3 months after she went missing, when a Snapchat message sent to her by one of her friends became marked as opened. However, it could not be determined if anyone actually viewed it. 2 months before she vanished, Mekayla made a post on social media with a photo of a Snapchat profile and wrote this: "Looking for Snapchat friends because I have none in real life. Add me. Please don't be a greasy F and send me gross ass nudes. Just looking for a friend." An Instagram account under Mekayla's name was also discovered. The account had hundreds of followers but no activity. When you go to its About section, it simply read, "Goodbye." This account currently cannot be found anywhere on Instagram. Paula suggests parents occasionally monitor their children's phone. The era of so much activity on social media, it's not that you don't trust your child, but you just don't know who they may be talking to and who the other person is speaking with them. Further investigation has revealed that she may have been talking to people through an app called Kik, where your messages can remain private. Those calls made by Bali haven't been able to be tracked, possibly because they were made using an app as such. Kik doesn't track conversations like most phone carriers and only identifies people through their username. Bali's friends say many people hide their identity while using Kik. We do that. It has affected the investigation and the information that we cannot obtain, Zawoski said. How we have to obtain information from the people who own the rights to those apps is very challenging because a lot of those come from the United States. The Kik app is a messaging app, so you can interact with other people from other countries or other friends. Bali's friend, Amy Lang, told CTV News, Bali's friends say they don't know anything about her disappearance. I just miss her friend Shelby says. It's hard not knowing anything. Nothing that can help find her, she says. The day before Bali disappeared, she seemed normal. She spent time with her friends, gossiping about normal teenager stuff. Her friends just hope she comes home one day. I hope she's found safe and soon. Her friend Shelby says, everyone here misses her. Her friends miss her. Her friend Lang says, it was not something I could deal with because I've never had a friend that's gone missing, and it was the first time this has happened. Police also confirmed that her bank account has never been used since. Mekayla was described as a shy and introverted teen. The evening before her disappearance, she spoke to different friends and they said she seemed distressed and talked about being upset about a boy. She seemed like a very lonely teenager. Although she had friends she went to school with, no one seemed to know what she did outside of school. Her friends knew she talked to people online, but didn't know many details about who she was talking to or meeting with the people online. Mekayla is from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, and her name changed from Nibergal to Bali 7 months before her disappearance on September the 11th, 2015. Her mother, Paula Marie Bali, works as a consultant for the Ministry of Social Services of the Government of Saskatchewan. Her father is not officially known, but after her disappearance, a man named Rick Britt was put forward as her possible biological father. Bali lived with her mother, aunt, maternal grandmother, and her two younger siblings in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, Canada. Her maternal grandfather died in March 2016, only 1 month before she went missing. Her mother described Bali as a shy and quiet girl. She enjoyed playing the violin and participated in the drama club at her high school, where she was attending 11th grade at the time of her disappearance. Likewise, one of her high school friends described her as caring and very conscious about what her friends' needs were. Bali had no history of disappearing for extended periods of time, and according to her mother, she was not a risky kid. Although she was bullied at times for her acne, her mother felt that around the time of her disappearance, she was hitting her stride. Paula Bali held a vigil south of Sacred Heart High School in Yorkton to commemorate the memories and keep hope of finding her daughter alive. The vigil began with prayers, followed by a moment of silence. Those with a thought or a prayer made their way to the podium to share it with those gathered around. It is such a visceral and emotional moment to think that the last time that you see someone that you care so much about and had so much of her life left to live, it's really important that we return there and kind of honor her where she was last known to be, said Paula. She wasn't a disobedient kid at all. She made being a parent super easy. It's probably why I have 2 more children, said Paula. As per her high school teachers, Mekayla Bali was a mousy student, but she always presented herself as quiet, good student, and a violin player. Although it seemed she belonged from a broken home, and her substitute names indicate a troubled history with father figures. Mousy students usually end up in pawn shops and bus depots, which are really rough places. Mekayla Bali may have been a violin player and a good student, but the pawn shop part of her life is worth asking questions about. Her mother, Paula, doesn't believe that her daughter intended to leave the town for an extended amount of time. While many investigations are still going on to find Mekayla, Paula said, "I will never give up the belief Mekayla is out there and in need of help. Hope is all I got. I have a gut feeling that she is alive, not safe, and I desperately need to find her and ensure that she is safe. My mother, sister, and the committee will continue to search for her and continue to fundraise." Despite nearly many years passing since Mekayla was reported missing, her mother still believes she could be reunited one day. "In my heart," she says, "I feel that she is alive. I don't feel that she's safe. I feel she's in danger," Paula explained. "I hope that one day we will see her again and we will all have answers." Her family and friends remain hopeful that Mekayla will be found sooner than later. Since that day in April, her whereabouts still remain unknown. Her case was initially handled by the Yorkton RCMP, who asked the public for help in locating her on April the 14th, 2016. After 3 weeks, Yorkton RCMP handed the Bali file over to the General Investigations Section, GIS, a dedicated unit that investigates major offenses. On July the 21st, 3 months after she went missing, the RCMP escalate their search by issuing a child search alert for the 3 provinces of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. On the first anniversary of Bali's disappearance, the investigation was handed over to the RCMP Historical Case Unit. On December the 4th, 2017, the child search alert was renewed and expanded all across Canada. Mekayla Margaret Kim Bali was born on July the 2nd, 1999 in Regina, Saskatchewan, and is a thin-built female with a fair complexion, standing 5 feet 2 inches tall. She wears thick-rimmed teal eyeglasses sometimes and has blue eyes with blonde shoulder-length hair and acne. Her natural hair color is red, and she has several chickenpox scars on her forehead and between her eyebrows, as well as a scar on her left hand. There are also scars on one of her upper thighs from self-harm, and has a mole on the right side of her chin. She has a light birthmark the size of a dime on the right side of her jaw and protruding front teeth. She may be using the surname Nybergall. Investigators have found no evidence Mekayla has a passport, and investigators have no reason to believe she has left Canada. However, as it is standard practice in an investigation like this, our law enforcement partners at border crossings have been notified by the RCMP that they are looking for Mekayla. All leads are being thoroughly investigated, and investigators are not ruling out any possibilities. We continue to investigate Mekayla's disappearance and have worked with the Edmonton Police Service, homeless shelters, and local businesses in the Edmonton area to help share our missing persons report. Constable Robert Head with the RCMP said to date, over 600 tips have come into the RCMP about Mekayla. At this point in the investigation, there is no indication of foul play. However, we must locate and speak with her to confirm her safety. Mekayla's family is concerned for her well-being and, like us, wants to ensure she is safe. Investigators will continue looking for Mekayla until she is located. Numerous sightings have been reported as recent as 2019. Sadly, it was always too late. If you have information to share or if you see Mekayla, do not wait. Please contact police or report it immediately. If you have any information, please contact the Yorkton Municipal RCMP at 1-844-880-6518, or you can email rcmp.fbali.grc@rcmp-grc.gc.ca. And if you'd like to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Or you can submit a tip via their website. That is at http://saskcrimestoppers.com, or you can text in a tip to tip 206 plus whatever your tip is, and then the word crimes, which is 274637, and their family is offering a $25,000 reward in her safe return.